it's not about August. It started in January. I think when we heard, Mark HOCKE and the whole issue of what's happened at the end of the year, we got to address that, and we got to be consistent in what we do. And it's been about toughness and finishing. Ultimately, football is about being tough guys. We've developed that not just during camp, but that started back in January, and I think our players understand that, and that's why it's going to be so much fun.
Let's get it! Let's get it! That's how I want you to come off the ball.
Let's get money, boys. Hey, y'all already know what time it is. What you do, who you are, is what's on tape.
Field what? Field what? Got that high knee!
All these men have worked so hard for something, They had a vision and they attacked it. They were committed to it, one day at a time, one rep at a time. And finally, all that hard work comes to a head.
Grind! Ready, stretch! Pull it in, push it down. It's a beautiful day! Let's get it!
Mark HOCKE is Texas A&M's new strength and conditioning coach. He brings a fresh energy and dynamic in the weight room, on the practice field, and to game day.
He's a guy that, we went out and it was exactly what we were looking for.
Raise your hand if you want to be great today. Oh! Get your mind right. It's on today. It's on today. It's on today. Back to work.
He brings to us a sense of toughness, a sense of urgency, a sense of excitement, and I think a real culture in the weight room that can transfer the field.
It's right here, right now. Dominate one rep at a time. I need everything you got. Match my energy. How about that? Chain break, hug yourself. Chain break, hug yourself.
I've been blessed to be at some pretty prestigious programs, and the resources here compete with all those prestigious programs. And that told me one thing. That told me that the people here care and they're committed, and that's the type of people anybody wants to surround themselves with.
Dono. You got two over here. Hey, you got the back, right? Go with him, Don. Go with him. Go to him. It's another run. 88 blocking. It's another run, what'd I tell you? Oh! What's up, 12? What's up, 12? Let's go, 12! Yeah!
Armani Watts isn't holding back heading into his senior year. He missed the close to his junior season with an injury. He's ready to make up for lost time.
It was very difficult not being able to be out there and playing with my teammates, and it was really my first time ever missing a game due to an injury, so it was pretty hard.
He knows what he's doing. He's been here. He's played a lot of football. He's played ever since he got here, unless it was injury.
It's pretty obvious that he's leader of this defense. I mean, it's crazy the amount of confidence he brings to that defensive huddle.
He wants to come back and be the best player he can be, and he wants to win at a high level. So he's doing all the things in the off season and during fall camp to be a leader and be the player that he wants to be.
People say like he's a little more reserved, but you don't see that on the field. He's got a different level of competitive spirit, and anybody's gonna appreciate that. And I see how it's contagious in that defensive huddle and how it's contagious on this team.
I think it's just on the field. I don't know. It's a different person just comes out. So I'm off the field. I'm pretty chill unless I get to know you, then I open up. It's a little wild, crazy, funny guy.
The Pulse, Texas A&M Football, is presented to you by AT&T, a proud sponsor of Texas A&M Athletics. Entertainment your way.
Oh, yeah. Big J. Be great at something, 2-5.
Christian obviously has a skill set that to do the things he's been doing for Texas A&M. You know, I remember watching him as a freshman in high school, and he kind of had that wow factor even back then. But I tell you what, to me, sets him apart a little bit from some of the other kids I've had. You know, they're probably in that same skill set, is how he approaches the game, not only on Saturdays, but on Sunday through Friday.
Let's be great, let's be great. Get them legs warmed up.
He's an awesome leader, one of the best leaders I've ever been around. Super vocal, but also backs it up with his actions too, and is always getting after it and love playing next to that guy.
Juice and energy all day. We got 3 weeks till we go into LA. It's time to make a statement. Let's get better. Hey, we said it, come on. Come on, lock in. Catch everything today. Catch everything.
You know, he's confident, but he's humble. You know, so he's got, you know, some of that humility that the great ones have, that they, oh, I've arrived, I don't need to work as hard, or I don't need to do this, I've already done all this before. I think every day he comes to practice, there is no kind of, there's no coast gear in his world. He's full speed, and that's what makes him Christian Kirk.
Oh, bounce. Rock, skate, hey. Oh.
You know, it's human nature to be able to do, you know, one thing once, go one day of, you know, hitting your cold tub, hitting your hot tub, stretching after practice, getting extra catches. But are you doing that week 3 of the season? Are you doing that week 6 and 7 when you're tired and all you want to do is go home and sleep? I think the great ones are the ones that are able to do that consistently and day in and day out, and that's something that, you know, that I focus on.
Come on, man, we got to practice right. We got to practice right. Oh, yeah. That's another one. That's another one. Hey, hey, I see you. Ah.
You know, we set a standard, we set a vision of what we wanted to accomplish for this season. And, you know, I asked them and challenged them, you know, everything that we do when times get hard and, you know, when adversity hits, to think of that vision, to think of everything that, you know, we want to accomplish this year and help it motivate them. So that's one of the things that I've challenged them with, you know, this season, and, you know, hope that we can apply it.
The Pulse, Texas A&M Football, is presented to you by Pepsi, official soft drink of Texas A&M Athletics. As camp continues, so does the asking of one important question. 3 are vying for the starting quarterback job. Who will take the first snap behind center in Los Angeles?
The quarterback position is a unique position, obviously. It's not always the guy that jumps the highest, throws it the farthest, or is the biggest or any of that. I think there's so many intangibles to that position. So you're looking for a guy that's a great decision maker for your team, on and off the field.
Hey, everyone in the back of the line, you are going to be facing forward. Make sure your entire line is straight, and then everyone look to the left and look to the right.
The competition brings out creativity. The coaching staff is finding new ways to find their guy. The son of a West Point grad, Nick Starkey, is one of them, looking to lead.
1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3.
Talent-wise, arm talent-wise, a very gifted kid. He's smart. I think he's now learning how to play the position mentally. as far as his leadership role, about how he interacts with the rest of his teammates, how he interacts with his coaching staff.
Step up. Good. Hey, now look it. Try not to protect it like this. Give him this, okay? Atta baby, atta baby, atta baby. Game's easy, man. The game's easy. Throw and catch.
Another, Kellen Mond, was one of the most sought-after quarterbacks in the country during the recruiting process. Now, he's hoping to find himself at the top of the depth chart.
I feel exactly the same way about Kellen. I think that they both have really grown up in the last couple weeks.
Hey, be assertive, all right? Mm-hmm. Better. Just know, all these running routes down here coming inside, if you body shot them, they're gonna catch it every time, right? High balls down here on running routes, get tipped balls. Hey, and listen, just remember, we already got 3. We already got 3 points. Oh, yes, sir.
You know, every day the game slows down just a little bit more for him.
Bang it right there, you go. Perfect. Perfect. Good job.
Jake Ubenak brings experience, having taken significant snaps in his past. He'll have to hold off the youth movement to earn the job.
Good. Good. Good, Jake. Good, Jake. That was a nice job, Buck. Good route. No, that's a good play.
You got a redshirt freshman who's been here a year. You've got a guy who's been here a couple years, and you got a guy who's been here since January. And there's pluses and minuses to all of them, but we know what we want to do. So we're going to continue with that plan and as it is.
The Pulse, Texas A&M Football, is presented to you by Memorial Hermann, advancing health. For better or worse, the Aggies are ready to start their season. But just before August camp, offensive lineman KODA Martin ushered in a new chapter in his life.
Wedding was great. It was awesome. I mean, the entire offensive line came out. There's a pretty cool picture of all those guys behind me and Jasmine, and just having those guys come out and support. Coach Turner and Coach SUMLIN came out, and just having that side of my family out there, and then my actual family all being out there and everything. It was awesome.
His bride, Jasmine Babers, was a standout volleyball player at A&M. Her father, Dino, now the head coach at Syracuse, was an Aggie assistant with Kevin SUMLIN over a decade ago.
It's very rarely, at this point in life, people who aren't in your family, do you know both of them, and you've known them both, the families, for a long time. So it was really kind of unique for me, but it was a good night, and I couldn't be happier for them.
Of course, the food was awesome. It's an O-lineman's wedding. You got to have great food. So that was great, but it was awesome. Really enjoyed my wedding.
We thank you for being here. We thank you for taking the time to come out and be a part of this special day for us. Me and Jasmine are so thankful for you and everything that you've done, and we just want to thank you for that. We know that God has put each and every one of you in our lives on purpose and for purpose. So thank you so much for being here, and enjoy tonight. Celebrate with us.
After tying the knot, Martin started to get tangled up with defensive linemen as camp got underway. He's a veteran and will be asked to lead this team.
He is probably the hardest working guy that I know, and this is consistent. It's not a one day and it shuts it down the next day. He's working hard every single day. It doesn't matter what you throw at him. He's got to find a way to push through it, work through it. He motivates me when I see him doing that. He just grinds through things.
I want to do whatever it takes to help my team win. I want to do whatever it takes to be great. At the end of the day, I got to look at the little things.
Here we go.
You just got to take things one day at a time. Think about this play. What is my job on this play? And do that. And so really working hard at doing that.
As a lot of people know, he wasn't really playing offensive tackle in high school, but he came here, he made that transition, and he's been doing great so far. So I give him a lot of props to that. He gives me a great look every time I go against him one-on-ones. So he gives me a real game experience in practice.
Keep it tight and get down here. It's going to be TFL every single time. Here we go. One more time.
Martin sees the defensive ends daily. It's a position in the spotlight, anchored by a pair that's waited for their time to shine.
We've stressed teamwork, and we've shown signs of being a great defense so far. So if we can just put that together and through the long haul of the season, we will accomplish the things that I see us accomplishing.
We have set expectations through the roof since the beginning of summer. Me, Jarrett, the young guys who came in, we brought a lot of guys along, and we're just going to look out and make plays and be a force on that defense. And we're going to be the main guys to come and bring the defense along. And that's how it's been. That's how we want to keep things going for the rest of this year.
Although more will be asked of them in 2017, they'll go about their business the way they always have, together.
We came in together as freshmen, and ever since then we've been able to compete against each other. We've been able to hold each other up. We've been like brothers since we've got here. It's been like a growing bond.
Quaylen is a high energy guy. He is a go-getter.
We got them smashers!
He gets the team riled up. He gets us ready to go before practice. He keeps the energy going throughout the entire practice.
Great job, man. Great job. I see you boys acting hungry now. Trying to eat.
We've just grown closer and closer. You know, we've been through everything together, all the difficult moments on the football field, and we've just grown together, and he's a great guy.
Ho. What's the run play? Start over again. Call the run play out every time. Do it again. Here we go. When I'm at that move made, I want to see 1, 2, 1. And as you work the move, I want to see you love to do what? Grab the grass, just like on film, right? If you play high, you're going to get pushed past the quarterback. There you go.
We lost some pieces that were really good players that are going to play in NFL and play in NFL for a long time. But guess what? Aggie defense still stays Aggie defense. So whoever's next has to step up and take on the challenges of being a great player for us. In our experience, returners coming back have to again form a great unit on defense. So even though we lost some faces, lost some talent, we still got some really, really good young talented players coming up, and we're going to play tighter and more together and go out there and play good defense this fall.
Damn! I like the power right there. Drop your hands a little bit, but I like the way. Now, hey, that's how I want you to come off the ball. Good job. Here we go. Get down.
The Pulse, Texas A&M Football, is presented to you by ASCO, your place for case construction equipment in Texas. A new school year and football season are starting, but the Aggies know it'll be about how they finish.
With a football player, you're going to have to do some things that a lot of people in this world don't do on a daily basis. But that's part of success. You've got to do things other people aren't willing to do.
If you hear from your teammate and he's pushing you when you're tired, that's going to help block out, those negative thoughts that you have in your head, and be like, hey, my teammate is pushing me, I need to pick it up. We're looking forward to carry that over to the season. When it's the fourth quarter and we got to finish, we got to be mentally strong to finish out the game.
This week, with historic flooding from Hurricane Harvey affecting the Gulf Coast region, everyone has turned Texas strong. Aggieland extends its thoughts and prayers to those suffering and assisting, as together we show the nation and world the true meaning of being a Texan. If you'd like to make a difference and help those affected by Hurricane Harvey, visit redcross.org.